because we had the Civil Rights Act, because people of all walks of life and all races worked hard to make sure that the Constitution did cover what it was supposed to cover. Everyone in the country, not just the rich white landowners. Okay? So I'm kind of just rambling here, but I miss the 60s, man. I was just a child, but like I said, I don't see the unified state of mind, if you will, with the occupiers. I saw one good video. I've seen some good videos of the occupiers. I think it was from D.W. Vincent, who showed one man who was just sitting on the corner, had a sign, he wasn't raising hell, and that's what should be done. That's how to do it. You know, jumping the barricades, throwing shit at the police, that's not ever going to get anywhere. You know, that's one lesson we should have learned from the 60s. You know, you antagonize the police, you're just going to get more of it. And I'm not saying that they deserve to be brutalized. There's no way, no how. However, when you go out to antagonize, you go waving the red flag in front of the bull, you're going to get the horns up the ass. And, I mean, that's how I see it. So anyway, I guess this is long enough. It's about 12 minutes worth. I'll try to get this up tomorrow, but you don't know. I don't know. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Keep on doing what you do, everyone. You know, fight the power, but at the same time, you have to realize that we are the power. And when we talk about fight the power, we're actually fighting ourselves, because inaction, violence are not the answers. Okay? It's not the answer. And like Forrest Gump, I guess that's all I have to say about that. So, until next time, I still watch videos. I make comments as they come out. I'm not subscribed to too many people. I don't have too many subscribers, but I've been logging on, checking out videos when I can, so I'm going to try to get this one up soon. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Take care. Peace. Hey YouTube, Coffee Dude 65. I wanted to make a video, and it's probably going to be long. I'm going to try to be really, really quick though. But I want to talk about the Trump people and the right to protest. Peaceful protest and the right to assembly. First of all, with the Trump people, the thing that strikes my mind is you are doing exactly what you blame the rest of us for doing. And that is listening to the fake news and believing all this stuff that you read and hear on the internet, and you're being controlled and you're being used by nothing more than what amounts to propaganda. And I was going to name the sites, but I don't want to give them any more airtime or credit, so I'm just going to leave it at that you're listening to the sites that have no basis in factual reality, and you make the charge against Democrats and Republicans that don't fall in line, that we have fallen victim to fake news and this and that. And it's really a paradox, because It's exactly what you're doing. You're using sources that are just not proven, not factually based. But that's that. On the protests and peaceful assembly, the key word is peaceful assembly. And I will fight for anyone's right to protest peacefully and to assemble peacefully. Sometimes it's difficult because I so object to the message, but I cannot object to your right. However, you've forgotten what civil disobedience is. The minute you break a window, you have become a criminal and you have lost all your rights. That goes for the Trumpers, that goes for Black Lives Matter, that goes for anyone. Now you might cite the civil rights movement and that laws were broken in order to advance the cause of civil rights. But the laws that were broken, the two examples I'm going to use are the World War V, who sat at the white-only lunch counter in a peaceful, civil, disobedient manner. The same as the woman who I am getting old and my memory is bad, but Rosa Parks, that sat in the front of the bus and would not go back to the back of the bus. That's civil disobedience. They were peaceful. They didn't break windows. They didn't cause mayhem. That's civil disobedience. If you want to act in a civil disobedient manner, then you link arms and you block the roadway and you let them carry you off to jail. You do not fight. You do not resist. You make them carry you. The same way as many examples in the 60s when people would take over buildings and they would have a sit-down strike and they would be forced to carry themselves out. That's civil disobedience. So when you start breaking windows and trespassing on federal property, you no longer have any rights under the Constitution. You are a criminal. Great. So where was I? So if you want to do something, it is your constitutionally protected right. But the minute you break that window, become a mob, you're now a criminal. And I know that these Trump people really, really, truly believe that the election was stolen and that there was widespread fraud. But you are being used by what you say you're against. And you need to think for yourself. And I want you to question everything. I've always said that. Question it. Just like we did with 9/11, 9/11. But this movement, if you want to call it a movement, really goes back to then. Because when you begin to question 9/11, you see that there is much discrepancies there that make you wonder. And it goes back to that. It goes back to that people sit on the internet and they read all these unfounded and unproven theories and so on and so forth. And there's a whole section, as we now know, of the population that has legitimized the notion that the government, especially Democrats, are evil minions of hell or something. And there is corruption on both sides. But in terms of the election, it has been watched and proven and over and over and time again that there was no fraud. Sure, in any election, I'm sure there's discrepancies. Question everything, but think for yourself. Don't just regurgitate information you read on some of these conspiracy theory websites. I also think a lot about the Occupy Wall Street movement, which is either vanished or I don't hear anything about it anymore. Which, as I said back then, was nothing but a bunch of people that wanted to go out and have some fun, and they're walking around. I remember making a video about these people are walking around protesting the Occupy Wall Street, or protesting Wall Street, drinking Dunkin' Donuts coffee, which is listed on the stock exchange. And I find that to be hilarious. You want to drink coffee and you don't want to give in to Wall Street, then drink an independent, locally owned coffee from a coffee shop. Don't drink Dunkin' Donuts. But a lot of these people, they're not out to change the world. They're out for a big party. It's fun to walk down the middle of the street. Anyway, I think that's all I was going to say. Question everything, but think for yourselves. Don't fall for the unfounded websites and so-called information, the fake news that you want to blame us for giving into. Don't fall for it yourself. And protest and assemble peacefully. And don't break windows. And don't riot. Gandhi, Martin Luther King, would not approve. That's the difference between Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Martin Luther King preached peace, civil disobedience. Malcolm X preached by any means necessary. Coffee Dude out. Peace.